So today, what I was thinking is that we'll take a very nice, intriguing, okay, that is in Sanyukta Nikaya, and then we will combine that with Mahahati Padupama Sutta. Okay, so we'll do both of them to see how we need to work out. One is on the Upaya, what he speaks about. Hold on. So in this Upaya Sutta, he talks about how the consciousness get established wherever it finds a footing. Okay, so example, I would like to start with an example is big better. We'll take a same example of I and Aryu going to the Apple store. Okay. Now, when we land in the Apple store, do we really get into an Apple store? And the answer is yes. Because the consciousness now is established on the Apple store. So it has already established on the Rupa. So it makes it, Buddha uses keywords here. Okay. Buddhim virullam vepullam apajjaya. Okay, then we might ask what really this means. Okay, how do I understand vepulla? Vepulla means growing. It'll grow. Okay, so basically when we are in Apple store, okay, what happens here is that it starts to grow there. What is the growth there? It makes body move towards the direction when it has upaya. There is a clinging to it. Okay. So then we get the thoughts in terms of how we are going to proceed. Okay. Meaning, what is that we are going to do after going there? So then there is a lot of distractions because now we see so many products. And then since we have gone there, we would like to buy something or the other. Okay. So Vuddhi is Vriddhi. Vriddhi means to grow. Right. So like in our group, we have a lady called Samruddhi. So completely grow. Virulla, meaning starts to flourish. Vepulla, it reaches the peak. And Apajaya, it will come into maturity. It will reach where it should reach. So what Buddha says is that if consciousness were to be caught up on any rupa, it will do this for. Let's say instead of Apple store, I go to monastery. Same thing. No difference. Now it will give you the experience of monastery. So you get attached to monastery. No difference. Consciousness has got no differentiation between this and that. Its job is to make these four things. Okay. So as long as this vijnana gets into Buddhi, Virulla, Vepulla, and Apajjaya, there is no liberation. Because it creates samsara. Let's say I don't like to be part of Apple store business or some mall. Why can't I go to the beach? Same. Why can't I go to monastery? Same. Why can't I go to Bodh Gaya? Same. It's the same. It doesn't matter. It sticks. Anything that sticks will have these four. That's what the sutta says. He says, Rupupayam va bhikkhave vinyanam tithanam tithamanam titteya ruparam manam rupapatithanam nandi nandupasenam buddhim virullam vepullam apajjaya. Same thing with Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara. Okay. So we need to see that if there is a clinging to anything, forget family life. Even if you go and meet a Bhante, if you like the Bhante, that's it. These four will happen. Then the Vedana will happen. So you'll have Sukha Vedana because of the Rupa. What Rupa did you get? You got so and so Bhante. You met that so and so Bhante. So you feel happy. Feel happy. You see this? You feel happy. That is a Sankhara. So that's a Punyabhi Sankhara. But it's still rebirth. So what should I get when I go there? Nothing. No liking, no disliking. That's how I need to train. Otherwise, it will get established. And the moment it gets established, it's done. It's done its duty. But I went to meet the monk. Same. No difference. But I went to the mall. You mean to say that mall and monk are the same? As far as consciousness goes, yes. It has no distinction. It only knows if you give something, it will get attached to it. If you don't give anything, it will not get attached. And not clinging to anything is liberation. Any questions? Concerns?
Everything we do is the same thing. It's not only the mall or the monk. Even the smallest thing, if I want to take a bath or as a daily routine, it's so you have to create that.
I couldn't hear properly.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
So whatever we do every day, from our daily routines, from morning get up to eat something, it's everything is the same. We have
No,
to
it's not.
involve.
It's not. It's involved. So one chanda is there. See, in a normal activity, do you have any raga? Like brushing teeth, do you have raga? Toilet, do you have raga? For urinating, do you have raga? Or dvesha or moha? You have to do everything like that. Then it gets extinguished. Anything other than that will have consciousness taking over the rupa, then it takes over vedana, then it takes over sanya, then it takes over sankhara. Then anyway, vijnana, it knows what to do. So if you were to ask me a question, should I not sleep? Nothing like that. But some people would love to sleep. That is the problem. Now the vijnana has taken over that. I love sleeping. Some people will say, I'm a foodie. That's the problem. I'm a shopaholic. That's the problem. I'm a monastery holic. And that's the problem. I'm a bhante holic. And that's the problem. Every now and then they would like to go and meet the bhante. If they sneeze, they are in bhantes. Some bhante.com. It need not be this bhante or that bhante, any bhante. Any colored dress, that person goes mad. He'll start crying. He'll feel something. He's got it, and he'll act crazy. That is what Vijnana does.
Yeah, but for layperson, it's okay. Sorry, for layperson, sorry, Arya. It's for layperson, it's okay because he not yet come to Shraddhanusari. So it is okay. Also, it is not okay when you go next level. You want to come out, go to the Nibbana.
So,
It is
so
not
the,
okay.
so the basic aim is that number one, you start with removing Kamachanda from the consciousness. So the consciousness will not get established on Kamachanda. Then you go and make it land on Rupa Jhana. So that Kamachanda is gone, it is on Rupa Jhana. Then you eliminate Rupa Jhana so that it doesn't establish in Rupa Jhana. Then it establishes in Arupa Jhana now. Then you cut it from Arupa Jhana, so it doesn't have any footing now. So it's a step by step gradual process of moving the consciousness from this to that to that to nothing. Once and for all, if you think I will do it, it's not possible. In fact, in that there are many suttas where Buddha says, my path is straight, but it is step by step. Okay. I wanted to take this sutta for a very simple reason that it's not the sensual attachment only we have. We have all kind of attachment, including a bhante. Yes, yes, I required.
I was thinking even this, depriving myself of something can become attachment. So that's what Kilamatanu Yoga will become.
Correct.
So you would attach to not indulging, and but you're depriving of everything, that become attachment.
Correct, correct. True. That's another thing. Yes. So that's the reason two extremes, right? One is Kama Sukhalukanu Yoga, which will say that there is no rebirth. Attakila Matanu Yoga, because there is rebirth and I will do something to get out of rebirth, which is itself an anupayo. Upayo. Anupayo is not doing it, upayo is to do it. So the objective here is not to get it established. But initially it will get established. It will get established somewhere. If you don't give that, it will get established somewhere. And if you don't give that, it will get established somewhere. That's going to be there. So first thing is cut out the sensuality so that it doesn't get established there. So you have done anagami level because there's no sensuality it is attached to. It's a good one. But it's still established. It's established on the jhana, on the rupa jhana, anagami. Then you cut it out and make it established in arupa jhana. So now it's established in arupa jhana all the time. So the rupa now is arupa for it. The vedana is arupa. The sanya is arupa because it knows this is infinite space, this is infinite consciousness, this is nothingness, this is neva sanya na sanyata. Only in the nibbana, the consciousness is, I can't even say what it is. Because if I say it is still, that means that something is there. It is and then it is okay. Then there's no problem. Otherwise, I have to say, hey, you know what, it doesn't get established. So that's the reason Buddha uses this simile saying that like just like a lamp going off, will it go in north or west or south or east? You can't say. It's not there. It's extinguished. So you can extinguish the vinyan once and for all. But if you don't, it keeps on coming back again. So let's say I go along with Bobby. He has some plans to go one monastery visit we have, and then we are going to drop one bante to somewhere. Right? All that is there. That's good. But shouldn't take it too literally, too seriously. Then the consciousness will not get established there. Otherwise, upayo. So it'll starts to grow. Buddhi is to grow. Okay. So once that buddhi happens, virulla starts flourishing. Vepulla. Vepulla means what? Vifulla. Vifulla means like a tree growing completely with fruits, flowering and fruits. That's what it would be. I'm not too sure whether I'm seeing this or not. I'm seeing everyone without video except for myself. Am I audible?
Yes, we can see you. Our video is also on.
On that means the internet problem is maybe from my side. I can only see myself, nobody else. Anyway, so okay, fine. So that's what it would actually mean.
Yeah, back.
Oscar, you were gone.
No, gone. I'm here.
Vilas, you like? Can I?
Yes.
See now, now consciousness is this establishing somewhere. That's the problem. I think you said that in many ways. It is once it is not established, everything is finished. So now he also says that it is like going to a mall and going to a bande. Everything is the same. But Buddha's way of teaching is that you abstain from all the bad ones and then keep doing the good ones and then purify the mind, and that's how it goes in that way. So rather than doing, because for me personally, what I understood, we can do when you try to do bad things, or so-called bad things. Now when the good things also at some stage looks like not very fruitful things, like for example going to a monk is better than going to a mall and looking at all the maybe very attractive things. So when you are or in, you also said that in meditation, sticking to one practice or one meditation object is also an attachment, even though it looks like it is wholesome. So when you are actually trying to change all different type of practices, it for me it is the continuity, the awareness is becoming yeah.
I understand your problem. So what I wanted to tell you is step-by-step process. So let's start in this way. Let's say somebody is very much in, I think I have covered this, but it'll be good to cover again. If somebody is very much in Goenka technique, there's no point in him moving else other than Goenka technique. What he could do, he can use the same one for the 5 aggregates. The body sensation one, or the Anapana, Sati, Anapana, what he does for 3.5 days or 7 days or whatever that days, depending upon the number of days he has kept, like a 10-day retreat or 20 or 30 or 45 or 60 or whatever it is, then he can do something like that. Absolutely fair. He can keep it without changing, except that he can add looking at the 5 aggregates. Then he will know what to do. Like if I'm watching the body sensation as an example, what can I do? I can look at the Rupa. Okay. Then I can see how Vijnana is getting attached to the Rupa. Because without consciousness, how can you know what is happening here, 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 like that? It's a Vijnana which is doing that for you. Right? And then there is a Rupa. You know there is something. So we can start doing like that. Then there is Vedana. Then there is Sanya. You are labeling it. That is Sanya. There is Sankhara. You'll do something about it. Then there is Vijnana. Now he can see how to cut it. He is using the same thing, no different. This is one approach. Second approach is, let's say he is not too caught up on Goenka technique or Ubakin technique or the Burmese technique. Then what he can do? He can get into jhana. Instead of doing this, he can come to the 5 aggregates using that. Okay. Now what he has to do? He has to. That's the reason the starting point is what? Vivicheva kamehi, vivicheva kusala dhammehi. So he is ensuring that the consciousness doesn't get established on this. So to make sure that it doesn't get established into that, he first practices on how to get rid of the kamachanda. So what he would do? He will go to asubha bhavana. So the consciousness will now get into asubha bhavana. He will do the dhatu. So then it consciously it is cutting off the person, right? 5 dhatus. Consciously it is doing. So what I wanted to drive home the point is, it's not you who is doing it. It is a consciousness which is doing it. And that consciousness feels I. The I is in where? I is in consciousness. Because it is reflected based upon name and form. So name and form on consciousness gives you the I. So basically, you don't have to change any method. You have to change the perspectives, not the perceptions, the perspectives. Because every perspective you change, you go one level higher. If you don't change the perspective, you will stick to the same level. You don't go anywhere. Because the consciousness is just burning there only. It doesn't go anywhere else. So unless you give that food, because that's again a fuel. So Rupa Jhana is a fuel to consciousness. Arupa Jhana is also a fuel to consciousness. Then you cut it off. Then it ends. So first is a Kama, which is a fuel. Then you gave the Rupa, which is again a fuel. Then you gave Arupa, that's again a fuel. And then nothing. Done. That whatever you am saying, there's no you. It's a consciousness. Just a consciousness, which is through eyes, it is saying, I am seeing. Through ears, it is saying, I'm hearing. Through nose, it is saying, I'm smelling. Through tongue, it's saying, I'm touching, I'm eating, or I'm having the flavor. And through body, it's saying, I'm touching. Through mind, it says, I'm thinking. But there is no I am in anywhere. But that burning sensation gives you I am. That is upayo, clinging. Anupaya is non-clinging. And that's the reason I talked about that Goenka technique. If somebody is 20 years, he's into it, and how they can practice, or 25 years. They can look at the same sensations and they can do it. They don't have to change the technique. It doesn't make sense to change the technique. But what we need to see is, it's the same whether I go to a monastery, I go meet the monk, I go to the shopping mall, or I do this, do that. It's establishment of consciousness. That's what the point I wanted to make through this. So we need to be aware that consciousness is getting established. No matter what you say. Don't have to change the technique. 1 second. Hello. हाँ. मैं अभी मीटिंग में हूँ, मैं बाद में कॉल करूँ आपको? ओके, ओके जी. तो now what we need to do is that we need to cut. That learning of cutting is there in Mahahatti-pada Upama Sutta. We understood this much, but the actual cutting is there in that sutta, MN 28. Related to this, it is covered there. This one is SN 22.53, and the one I'm going to talk is MN 28. Have you gone through that Mahahatti Pada Upama Sutta?
The elephant, right? Yeah.
Elephant simile of the elephant.
Go to the bush and like the mark he sees, and he was mistaken for some other. It's not the highest elephant or big. Yeah. So it is like growing from the what's that, from the higher smallest to the highest, right?
Yeah. In that the Four Noble Truth is covered. Then it is then the Upadana is also covered. What is there? What we just now did. That's also there. Rupa Upadana Kanda, Vedana Upadana Kanda. Then what is Rupa in terms of the body parts, and then he talks about when the water increases, what happened to Patvi. The Patvi is gone. What happens when the fire, when the heat increases, the water is gone. That means you can see that it changes. So the consciousness will stop getting associated with any one of these. That is how you get out of this clinging. Clinging is because of craving. So to cut the craving is feeling. If to have to cut out the feeling, you have to cut out the contact. So ultimate aim is to cut the contact, not feeling. You can't cut the feeling, but to cut the contact. It's just like removing the plug. As long as it's plugged, electricity will be flowing. You can't say, no, I will remove the electricity without the with connection being there. No, you can't. Only when you unplug it, then there's nothing. No electricity. Meaning the equipment will stop. So I didn't want to cover up the whole Mahahatti Pada Upama Sutta. I think most of people have read about it. So I thought, let me first find out to what level or degree it's been understood. And then we can see which portion you think you have trouble. Or if you think you require time, you take time today, we can make tomorrow for Mahahatti Pada Upama Sutta. It's not that today only I should finish it off. No, we can, because it's very important. So it's all about getting disillusioned. The illusion is there in the consciousness itself. So it's to make sure it doesn't get into illusion, you will do this. So now the consciousness will know what is Patavi. So it doesn't get established in Patavi. Then it knows what is Apo. Doesn't get established in Apo. Then it knows what is Tejo. Doesn't get established in Tejo. Then Vayu. Then Akasa. So it has now, it because this body is that, it has got established. It has taken it to be mine. So the consciousness now says, I know this is not mine. Patavi is not mine. Apo is not mine. Tejo is not mine. Vayu is not mine. Akasa is not mine. So it's now given up. So the contact will not happen now. Contact between the Patvi and the consciousness, Apo and the consciousness, Tejo and the consciousness. In the same way, eyes are not mine. Chakku is not mine. Sota is not mine. Khana, Jivha, Kaya, Mano. That's truly cut off. What do you think? Should we meet tomorrow? Do you want to take a break and go through the Sutta MN28 before we discuss on that? Otherwise, you will not have that experience. We might just go through it and then one video is there, that's it. I want you to experience this, whatever is written there, using that SN 22.53.
Yeah, we will carefully study that, but if anyone else want to speak anything, that's fine. But yeah, I will read it carefully later.
Yeah, not right now. You can take time. And I don't believe that everyone sitting here have read and they have understood also. So I think it would be a good decision to wrap it up and then meet tomorrow. It's not really urgent that I need to complete it and say that, you know what, this is how I would experience. No. I want you to put your effort. So first go through the SN 22.53, Upaya Sutta, and then see what you understand out of it. And then go through MN 28 and see what you understand out of it.
Which is that MN 23 and
MN 28 is
okay.
Mahahatti Padokama Sutta.
Yeah, the other one?
SN 22.53, Upaya Sutta.
Upaya Sutta.
SN 22.53, Upaya Sutta. And this one is MN 28. If you are not ready tomorrow, we'll do day for tomorrow. No urgent. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing in the Hindi session today. I'm going to message them that please go through these two sutta before we meet. So some effort has to be there. You're on mute in case if you're talking. Bobby, yeah.
No, actually, Marin was calling, so I just.
Okay. No worries.
Okay. Can we discuss anything else if you have time or no?
I have time. I'm done with today's.
This one, okay. See, now in the course of your practice, I also see that something which was not very kind of. See, I'm talking about the 5 hindrances. So these 5 hindrances, you think it was not very big trouble in the earlier times, becoming more trouble later times. For example, maybe Vyapada or some kind of frustration was more in the earlier times. That time this Tina Middha was not very strong. So then later on, that is seems to be fine, but then this one becomes stronger. So this happens like that, or is it?
Yes, yes, yes. It will be in layers, right? So as one layer removed and something else come, and that will remove and something else will come. Out of the five, it will be in layers. That's what is called as muddiness. It will be muddy. So
Mm.
you think you have removed that mud layer and then see, oh my goodness, this is even more muddier than what I thought. Then
Actually, that
that's
is what I was thinking, because yeah, something else comes with even more than before.
yes, Bobby. That's how it is. That's how it is. It's good. So basically, what happens? It's like this. You have a tank. Whatever is floating is easy. You will take it out and you feel that water is clean now. But the bottom. So when it is shaken, then something will come up, and then you remove it. And then when you remove all the water, and then you see, my God, so much of dirt, slush. So then you'd remove huge chunks of slush. Say, I'm done. No, again, something else will come. Then you remove that, then something else will come. So Thinamida is not going to go unless we get into a almost end of it. So a little bit of Thinamida is there even in Anagami. Little bit, not much. Udacha
But
is there.
why sometimes I feel Dinamita was not strong before, and now it is strong or
Because
something
you
like
have
that.
something else which is covered that up. You're on mute and
Yeah,
speaking.
so that means that was buried at that time, and I was dealing with something else.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Bobby. Let's say I'm upset. Thinamida will not take shape because that has more energy, right? So the Thinamida is was sluggishness, so it will never come up. So then when that when I'm upset is over, then I feel think I need to go for a sleep.
You get bored.
You get bored because that was taken up, right? See, upset is something. See, let's say I'm watching some news channel. Why I don't get sleep? You tell me that. Have you ever seen when you're seeing a movie or when you're watching a news channel,
Yeah,
you'll never get sleepy.
see, technically, like, or intellectually, whatever you're saying, I 100% agree. I think what the answer is that time there is more interest. So then you are saying that the cultivate
There is no
interest,
interest. It is
chanda.
effort, a lot of effort. The virya is so strong, it will shake up sleep. It's not you have interest. Interest is chanda.
What I mean when you are watching a video or a movie, you're
Correct. No, you don't have chanda. Chanda is there anyway. It's kama chanda. Now that doesn't do anything. You have virya. You'll put energy. So when you put energy, there's no sleep. Energy removes sleep. So you are watching it and you want to know what happens. I want to know what happens. Next, what happens? Next, what happens? Next, what happens? Next, what happens? So it's always catching up. Then, if you've seen Bobby, after we see the movie, you feel tired. If you observe, why? Because that energy is so expended. Have you seen anybody coming out of the theater? They look so tired. They were not tired when they entered into the movie cinemas. When they come out, they see tired. And they keep on talking about the same thing now. It's called rumination. So you ruminate again and again, just like there's nothing inside there. Keeps on doing that. So then he comes out, his friends calls, hey, you should watch this movie. I'm telling you, yeah, okay. Why, what happened? Then he gives the whole story. Why he should now go to the movie theater? He's already given him a free movie thing. After speaking, that doesn't, again, somebody else will meet him. Oh, this movie I went. Oh, then he will also say the same thing. I went to the movie. So in that scene, how this was happening and that was happening, and again the energy. After that has happened, he feel tired. So what he does, he gets kamachanda. So he drinks tea or coffee or something, or a peg of a drink or whatever it is. Okay, so all of this is because of that. So there's tiredness and sluggishness actually. The tiredness is the one which causes sluggishness. You feel tired. So even in meditation, when we are putting too much of effort, it turns into sluggishness later, because we have put so much effort in watching the breath. It's a energy drain. So sleep. Or he's upset for some reason, and then he's trying to do this. It doesn't work. He gets frustrated and sleep. So like that. Just always comes in layers, Bobby. Nothing you and I can do. We all have to go through that.
Yeah, I think since the makeup is totally different in everyone.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's never the same.
Yeah, so it is just a general, way to come out of is mentioned, but each one has to deal with their issues.
Yes, sir. You have to deal the issues themselves. Correct.
I think I do want to ask something.
Yeah, you.
Very random question. I don't know, maybe dumb. But this tinamita, this feeling of, let's say, heavy sluggishness, can you try to see like a form in that?
It has a form, no? It makes you feel heavy.
So it has patavi.
Yes, more patavi, right?
So you can try to see the patavi in that.
No, you can also see the patavi in that. When you are sluggish, you feel not motivated even to walk. You feel right because you're feeling heavy. This heaviness. What is heaviness? Is patavi. What is lightness? It is space. Akasa.
So could you put effort in trying to discern the heaviness? And that may give you some virya and remove that.
You can't do that. It's like if you put more effort, you get more tired. So what do we do? Stop whatever you're doing. Just take a walk. So what Buddha says, be mindful. Now you see this fun. You be mindful of walking. Don't do anything. Don't try to look at the breath. Oh, I want to see this. Then you're putting restlessness will take over. If not this and that. If not that, something else, right? So you just now I have to go. Right? Now I can't sit. I'm yawning like crazy.
Yeah, I think sometimes oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking sometime if you observe the drowsiness, it does go away. Like right, in some cases.
Little bit.
A little bit.
That's the reason he says do aloka sanya.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will not go away. A little bit it will go away, and then again it comes back. So, what's the anecdote for that? You just have to go for a walk. Watch it, this moment. So you are putting the consciousness to look at this. So it gets interested. Once it gets interested, sleep will go away.
Sorry. I heard a simile. Somebody was telling that it is like what Ari was telling. You can watch that heaviness or the pathvi. It's like watching the sleep itself. So it is like a drunkard keeping a bottle of wine in front of him, and he says that he will just watch it for some time, but after that he will take it and drink it.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Yeah, same way you will end up in the bed after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
but
lie
sometime
flat and I say, I will do yoga nidra. And after 10 minutes, it's beautiful sleep. More beautiful than anything else. Then I said, you know what? I attend Nibbana. Yeah,
Yeah,
sleep
that is what
Nibbana.
exactly happens all the time. You think they will not sleep, they will end up in sleep.
yeah, I think sometimes if like I woke up and I have that heavy sleepiness, but somehow I observe it very quickly evaporate, and then I wake up to other things that become fine. But I think it give you a kick. But if it, you have to, I guess if you're very mindful and alert, it would work. But if the tendency is very strong and your mindfulness is not so good, it would work very limited. And like you said,
Yep. So we need to see, like, let's say, what is the indications? There's an indication, like I'm feeling really tired. Then tiredness is something physical. So it requires, let's say I've had sleep deprivation for whatever reason, bed or this or that, or heat or whatever, couldn't sleep well. It's better now you sleep for 1 or 2 hours, take rest, watch the breath, take rest, you'll get fresh. Then you start meditating.
what's a good length of naps, Vilas? You said 1 to 2 hours, but would 20 minute work also, or what would be a good time for nap?
Depends, 20 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours, till you feel freshness. See, let's say I slept at 12 o'clock and Jagari on yoga. I got so much impressed by what Buddha says. I literally wanted not to sleep. So, in that, restlessness started, right? It is restlessness. So, when you're restless, you'll not get sleep. So, 2 o'clock happened, and I felt that today I will meditate from 2 to 4. That also I did somehow. Then I'm positioning myself 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, like that. I planned it that way. Anicca has become Nicha. Because I planned it like I want to execute like that. Is it it's going to do as per your plan? No. It's viparinama. Okay. Dhamma is viparinama. It will change unexpectedly. Now I'm feeling hungry. I shall not eat. If you say you don't eat, what happens? It irritates even more. So Buddha says you have to put food because you're hungry in the Pachavekata, Pindapata. Now you eat. The moment you eat, it's a body's method to first put everything to digestion. The blood and oxygen, everything is required for oxygen. So what the brain does, it puts all things towards stomach. Then if you want to meditate, what happens? You are not slept in the night. Now you had food. It's already slow. So what should I do? Sleep. No, no, Buddha said not to sleep. No, you read the Sutta way of Moggallana. In the last, he says, if nothing is workable, go to sleep. You did everything, put water, did Aloka Sanya, did this, did that, and everything, and genuinely you have to sleep. So go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Moggallana, that same sutta, one of the first things he said induce drowsiness is when you enjoy sleeping, when you enjoy the drowsiness and enjoy the mida feeling and all that, right? So what happens if sometime you had too many dreams, like in the morning, so you wake up very tired. You know you've been having dreams, you're tired. What to do? Because
Yeah.
now
So
it's a
what to
choice.
do is,
Yeah.
what to do is you now have to observe the breath and you get a 15-minute, 20-minute, half an hour, 1 hour nap, which will compensate for those dreamy things which you had. Because if there are a lot of dreams in the night, or your bed is new, or you're sleeping in a new place, let's say, than your usual, or the pillow is not okay, then you will not have good sleep. Good rest. I don't want to call it as good sleep, good rest. If you don't have good rest, the whole day will be spoiled for you because it's always an irritation. We are not arhats in the first place. So we shouldn't put ourselves that, oh, as an arhat, no, as an arhat is done. You take where you are and see what limitations you have health wise. Address that. Yes.
So even that watching breath leads you to sleep, that's fine. That means the body requires it, just sleep.
It should lead to sleep. So you go to sleep, but when you wake up, you're totally fresh.
Okay. So aim for that freshness whenever you get up, if you have time, of course. I mean.
See, there are two ways of getting freshness. One is you had a good sleep, but is habituated. Cut that habit, go for a walk. Don't sit. Now, your body is tired. You are feeling the tiredness of the body. How do you know you're tired? This is tiredness actually, because there's no oxygen. The moment you start doing this, it means that it is crying for oxygen.
Automatically doing yoga.
Whatever. So now I do like this. Or every 10 minutes I'm doing like this. It means if there is so much of crunching happening in the body, it shows only two things. One, he didn't have a sleep. Two, body is tired. Vitamin B12 deficiency will create this. Okay? And then calcium D, also vitamin D, vitamin D with sun, because you are not exposed to sun. So again, it will give you like this. So you need to check. B12 deficiency will make you tired, or thyroid problem also will make you tired. So we need to check. It's not that just you go by your blind thing. So we need to know medicine side also. Why am I every day feeling tired? Even if a person has diabetes, will feel tired. So there can be multiple reasons for feeling tired. So you need to address that. When you address it, the tiredness goes away. Because sugar level variations will make it worse. So you shouldn't have sugar level variations, because that's the sugar is the one which causes the problem. Too much of sugar will be heavy. No sugar is, the body is deprived of glucose. So your brain requires much glucose for functioning. So if you don't have glucose, it will start shutting down, which it thinks that it's taking too much of what we can say bandwidth. So it will start to cut the resources. So the what happens? Sleep ensures. Why? Because that's the way it can sustain. So even though mentally I want to sit and meditate, physically it's not possible. That's the reason I was wanting to ask that assistant teacher when I went for that VRI thing. If somebody is not really doing well, how would you ever know? Because you're putting everyone on the same regimen. No, everybody's body is different. You need to go and speak to them and find out. It's not about whether you're getting breath here, you're getting this here, you're getting that here, like one puppet show, or like, some robot asking the same question. No, you should have some intelligence. Like in the case of Shreyas, what if he really had a heart attack? He was having all symptoms of heart attack. What would have happened? Like one of my colleague here, he's aged 40. He recently had a heart attack. Okay, mild heart attack, but heart attack anyway. What happened? He was getting acidic feeling, and he was feeling something is not okay, something is not okay, which is exactly what Shreyas was saying to me. What if he had a heart attack at 2 a.m. in the morning? He was worried. He couldn't sleep. He waited till 5 o'clock or 5:30, woke up that volunteer, and he went into the assistant teacher's office or whatever it was. And instead of that assistant teacher talking to him nicely, he started blasting him, saying that you are not interested in doing this technique. It will come like this and like that. Stupid thing. At least have some humanity in life. First, you should know it. He might be telling something which is genuine. First, address the problem. Whether he does the Goenka technique or not, that is secondary. That's not your problem. First, you have to find out what if he really has that. We don't know, right? The sugar variations can happen because we are used to eating 3 meals a day. Now you cut 1 meal, only 2 meals, let's say. When you give 2 meals, what happened to sugar level? It comes down. If he is in a borderline sugar, it spikes. No, it goes down. We don't know, right? You might have an application which says that, do you have any disease or this or that or whatever? Then you will say no, because obviously that person doesn't have anything. So you need to have a resident doctor who will attend to all of these people. And the place where we were staying, the nearest doctor, the nearest hospital is 30 kilometers away. By which time that guy would have died, gone. It was very scary. So when he spoke to me, I wanted to tell that assistant teacher, saying that you need to have something, right? Some humanity should be there. Your technique, picnic, you keep it. That's a picnic story. You first need to be human. You need to understand the other person. What is he facing? If you can't address it, have a doctor, so that you know the doctor can say after checking his pulse or after checking his heartbeats, or he has to check his BP to see whether the BP is dipping, or he has to put a pulse oximeter to see that how much oxygen he's having, all of that. They don't have any facility. They just take you for granted. You die, you die. What do you mean? They are not gone there to die. So basically, why I'm telling you this is we need to know our body, and then we are doing this. It's not the other way around. So basically, we should understand what is the limitation of the body. Genuinely, it will show up. Genuinely, meaning it shows up. That's the reason Pachavekana Buddha says, Gilana. It will show up, and you have to take care of it. In the 4 Pachavekana, the last one is Gilana, meaning medicine. You have to address it. It doesn't matter whether it is you're an Arhat or you're an Anagami or Sakadagami or whatever Gami that is. It doesn't matter. You need to address it. If you're feeling tired, you should address it. Or even if your heart is pacing for no reason, then you should address it. The HRV monitor can tell you that there is some problem, but then I have to go and address it. No, like remember, when we went to that cardiologist, it was showing 160 by 100. We have to address it. Yeah, it was anxiety, but why? Because it is genetic. That has to be addressed. So what happened then? Then they had to send that whole thing inside and check my heart and saying that I don't have any thing. That's the only thing it can be done, because the anxiety is creating BP variation. It is also creating high BPM, beats per minute. My normal BPM is 44. It's going to 100. So how much? Gone 2.5 times. The heart is pumping like this, going crazy. We don't know. What if it happens at VRI for me? It has to be addressed. Who? Yes, go ahead.
I think the problem is that the belief that every reaction is some sankhara coming up. So if you have a doctor, then the doctor will see this symptom, that symptom, then it's not sankhara, and then
Exactly. So it is a wrong belief system that everything is sankhara. It comes out. What comes out? Like in the case of Shreyas, he was genuinely having this problem, and then when he came out, when he went to the doctor, and he was not happy. Doctor was not happy. And he's just 28-year-old. You can have any kind of things in your body. Who knows? You can't just take it for granted. You have to address. So if you have somebody's feeling tired all the time, that sugar level is having a problem. So they have to go and check. And indeed, it will be a sugar level problem or thyroid. Only two cases where you feel tiredness. The TCH level will go down, so a person will feel tired, or he gets a hypothyroidism, which means he becomes fat, or hyperthyroidism, which means no matter what he eats, it keeps on shrinking. In both the cases, the person feels tired. Now, if I tell him that no, you are having thinamida, that's not fair argument. I should say that go and test your TCH levels. Yeah, Bobby.
Plus, you also told in the middle, that it can be you have a good sleep and you don't feel like tired, but still your habits are very strong. That you don't want to go for a walk. Like for example, it is so difficult to go for a walk, and what will happen? What is the remedy for that?
Read whatever you want to read, but don't go on the
YouTube.
YouTube or whatever. You just take one book, some Dhamma book, instead of the sutta. Some, like our friend, if you look at Aryu, he has a lot of Jataka stories. Okay, those things are good, actually. That will help you to come out of it. Initially, you will feel, why am I seeing this? And then later, it'll just get adjusted. So you can just make that. Or listen to some music. Music as in the sayings, or this gatha and all that, or just instrumental like flute or something for a few minutes, so that you're disrupting that thing, you're cutting that thing. Okay, then you feel relaxed, and then you can go for a walk. You're just cutting it off. Instead of, let's say I'm feeling like this, what should I do? If I look at YouTube, it makes me even more sleepy. Then I need something interesting. If I read sutta, it feels tired. So what should I do? Listen to some light music for a few minutes. Not that you should do it for hours together, because at that moment only you need to do. No preempting. 5-10 minutes. Or 5 plus 10, 15 minutes. Just listen. Try to only listen. Like I put on music. Just listening. Watching the breath and listening. Listening more, watching the breath secondary. Then the thinamida will go away, because now it generated interest. Done. 15 minutes down the line, you're fresh. Then you can go for a walk and come back and meditate. So we need to find strategies for ourselves. It need not be given in any book. It need not be shown in anywhere. If we go for retreat or whatever, not even spoken by a bhante or whatever it is. We have to find a strategy for our problem. because it's my problem, it's not somebody's problem, right? So, yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, but I think the sutta where Moggallana was having this issue, I think it hinted like at what you're saying, right? Because Buddha even say pinch this, do that, and so that means you tried all these different things, right? It's hinting at what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You try it out. See, in a monk thing, they can't listen to any music. You got the point. See, this one is a yogic exercise. If you pull this up, pull this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll cut sleep. You know what this is, for, to be honest, Ariu? This is like a child in the womb. If you've seen, the ear is made out like that. The last one here is when the sleep cycle can be disrupted. So in India, when we were young, what our parents used to do is to do like this and sit up with this pull. So what happens is it does two things. It cuts the sleep. So you're studying and you couldn't study well. The parent will say, hold like this, sit down, get up, sit down, get up. So it's a punishment. So actually, this pulling like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel done, fresh. If that doesn't work, maybe a BP change. So you go inside here, press it, the BP will come down. There's so many strategies you can use. That's for BP. Don't do that. If you don't have any BP issues, it will reduce your BP. Stop.
Now, I'm finding it very interesting because when I do that, the sound changes.
That will change, but then, yeah, that's this whole ear, if you see, it resembles of a womb. The entire thing. This is a womb, basically. And this is the backbone of the child, this whole thing. So you can play around with this, the cartilage, you can play around. There is a lot of acupressure points you can use, and then it will do a lot of things. So we need to know all of this to Gilana section, you need to know. That's the reason when Shreyas came back and he narrated to my wife, she was scared because she didn't know what I will be facing, because this young guy can get so much of issues. In my case, what would happen? I never had any issues because I know what to do. Yes.
Also, I think this right corresponds to left and left corresponds to right and all that, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's the reason that parasympathetic, sympathetic will work in that way. Okay, anyway, so we had a good talk, at least on this. So go through MN 28 and SN 22.53, Upaya Sutta and Mahahattipada Upama Sutta. And then tomorrow, if you are ready, we will go through what you understood about that. And today I will message that in the Hindi group. If they are not ready, no meeting today. We have had enough of discussions. So now it is time to really get into working mode. It's not that you should do everything. We go through it and then we can see how you can see what you can see. It'll be interesting. It will be like basically like I and you discussing Dhamma. Otherwise, it becomes one-sided. I keep on saying and you keep on listening. And I'm doing this by purpose that in next 2 weeks I'm at Bobby, so it should be a nice dialogues.
Bobby Vedala Sutta.
Bobby Vedala Sutta. Yes, perfect. Good one. Thank you.
But I think I have heard a lot of suttas, and now some practical methods of working with the hindrance.
Okay, should we end?
Yes, Vilasji.
Okay, thank you.
You're going for work, right?